Good day, friends. Welcome to Just TV Plus News Headline Review. I am BC Arobusoyi. Today with me on the set, today the 25th day of May, year 2021, is Mr. Segun Adebambo Ojomo. Mr. Olusegun is the head Ford Truckers Limited, communication specialist and operator First Nigerian TV. It's an online publication. Mr. Segun, thank you for joining us this morning, sir.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, today also we have two newspapers. The first one with me is the Guardian, and the second one is The Nation. The Nation, I want to start with Nation. The biggest story on the Nation this morning is about the presidency slam Southern governors open grazing ban. The presidency yesterday described South governors' ban on open grazing as legally questionable. It accused the governors of playing politics with serious security issues while attempting to show power. So, with this story, what do you think? I mean, do you think the Southern governors are playing politics with this open grazing, from your own opinion, sir?
There's no politics there.
Okay. But the federal government is accusing them.
There's nothing the state governors, the Southern governors would have done except, first of all, sanitize the interiors, the bush places where those hoodlums stay with the herdsmen.
Okay.
The herdsmen were initial people who went into the bushes of all over Nigeria, inside the bushes of metropolis and all that. So, of course, the herdsmen were the original occupiers before the criminals came in.
Okay.
So the criminals simply told where the herdsmen had been living to come and live with them.
Okay.
So to perpetrate all these evil activities. There is no way the state governors will be able to do anything concrete and tangible without exiting the herdsmen from inside the bush.
Yeah, but sorry, sir. Let me cut you short. You just make something that I needed to come in.
Okay.
You said the herdsmen has been there for a long time.
Exactly.
Before the criminals.
Exactly.
Come in.
Exactly.
Don't you think it's very important for these herdsmen, the real one,
yes,
for them to walk towards the security? I mean, for them to in chasing away those criminals that joined? I think they are supposed to know them. Exactly. If they are sincere. Exactly. In this issue.
Now, you have just said something that is also germane. It should have been the responsibility of the headsmen right from the beginning when these criminals came to join them to shout out to government, oh, this is the situation. So that what Akeredolu wanted to do, which is a very noble idea, was not driving them away, but for all of them to quit the bush first, then come and register so that we can know those of you who are real herders, so that we can differentiate you from these herders that are criminals.
Okay.
So there's nothing bad in, and of course, where is it in the world now that you talk about open grazing? It's shameful, it's a disgrace that a government, a federal government for that matter, in Nigeria is supporting open grazing. Look at all over the world, livestock farming has taken ranching as a way. You stay here in fact, even neighboring Ghana, they don't allow all this nonsense to happen.
Don't you think that was why the federal government is trying to speak with the state governors instead of them chasing away those herdsmen? Why that is just like they should create a ranching for the herdsmen? Don't you think that was what?
Like I already told you, that is the second step. That cannot be the first step. The first step is to sanitize the bushes.
Okay.
Get everybody out of the bushes. Let them come and identify themselves. You'll be able to identify the hoodlums, the criminals, and then you'll be able to identify the real herders. Now, the real herders have failed in that they did not raise an alarm from the beginning. Okay. It will make an ordinary Nigerian to even believe that they now connive because they claim that they are poor people. It's easy for Nigerians to claim that they connived with those criminals that came in to start kidnapping people. Of course, the business of kidnapping is several millions of dollars richer than the business of cattle rearing.
It has become
yes. So they cannot tell us, the federal government cannot tell us that what the southern governors have done, banning open grazing. Okay, I saw a video this morning. I think in Port Harcourt somewhere. On the main road, a cow got berserk and went to hit a car.
Oh God.
Destroyed the car totally.
Oh, that's not good.
Nearly, in fact, the rear mirror, the front windscreen and the rear windscreen spoiled. It was on the driver was just lucky that he was the only person in the vehicle. Maybe he dodged. That cow entered through the windscreen in the front, plunged on it and entered the vehicle.
Oh God.
Look at all that. In a normal society, should cows be going up and down? What are you grazing? Ranches are it's even detrimental to to the health of the grazer and the health of the cattle. That is why they have diminished cattle. Any cattle you are rearing that goes up and down, the amount of carcass, the amount of meat that is supposed to produce will reduce. When you carry cow when you are supposed to carry cow from using the rail lines or the trucks from the north, you now move through the bushes. You say because you want to give them green grass. And now you have even stopped giving them green grass. You are now giving them people's crops.
No, that's not good. I think there
was a case I had, a Fulani headsman that was attacking a person in Ondo State. And the man was telling somebody that even the grass is not good enough for his cattle, that it is those crops. Why don't you go and plant crops somewhere and then feed your cattle with that?
With it.
Rather than enter somebody has invested so much in his farm, in his own environment, in his own territory. You now come with cows, you enter his farm and degrade the whole place. And added to that, instead of being punished for it, you are the one that is even going to punish the person that owns the farm and even kill the person. The case of Dr. Aborode in Osun State is still there. That is why the reason that this guy Igboho stood up that you enter somebody's farm, a decent man, a well-read man that came home from abroad to start business of farming. You entered his farm, you damaged his crops, and he came to meet you. Why should you do that? And you killed him
again.
And you are saying that people should be looking. They should not react. That is the thing.
Well, I want to believe something will have to be done so that we have the peace.
Something must be done. And
let's see.
Government has to be more committed.
Of course. So
that the government, the person at the helm of government now is not seen to be a tribal person. You have to be committed. Show some level of commitment. The recent statement by Malami is I don't know what to refer to it as, comparing cattle herding with spare parts selling. You say those selling spare parts in the north, you have not driven them. Do those people selling spare parts, do they go into people's farms to damage their crops? They do their business inside their shops. People go there to buy. If you exit those selling spare parts from the north because they are not northerners, where do you get spare parts to run your vehicles?
Now, can we just ask this question? Now, if federal government is like asking the state government to create ranching for the herders, do you think it's a good idea? Because I think it's a business on its own.
Fine. Like I said before, the first activity that must be done is to exit everybody from the bush. Now the herders now come out, register themselves. They are an association, they come to themselves with ATLA. Let them come to any state that they want to be. Let them come and register with that state. Just like Akoredolu said for Ondo State. After they have been registered with the state, then other issues can come in.
Okay.
Then it is not compulsory. You cannot. There's nowhere in our laws that says that you must give land to somebody who does not come from a particular place. I've seen people who traveled from here to the north, wanting to do certain things. They were not given land. They are allowed to do their business, but they were not given. Unlike what happened, you cannot tell a group of any state governor, for instance, to create land for herders by force. And by the grace of God, even over there, there's so much expanse of land in the north where ranches can be created. In fact, the land area in the north alone is about 4/5, more than 4/5 of the total land area of Nigeria. And you have all those land, all the Sambisa forest and all the whole. How many ranches can you create there? If you don't just want to be creating trouble, or you want a situation where you encroach and take over people's lands, because that's what people are thinking. You will not need to leave the north and be coming down sites to come and ranch.
Let's see what is going to happen in the next few days. Let's go to another question, another story. It's about INEC offices, being raised in Imo, Anambra, Enugu, in fresh attack. What do you think is really happening? If initially it was police stations, and I think it's still going on, now INEC offices, what do you think is really going on? What do you think is the problem? I mean, I don't know. What do you, from your own side of the story, sir?
It's simple sabotage.
Okay.
It's only that one cannot be sure to be able to pinpoint where the source of sabotage is or who are the perpetrators. Some people are claiming that it is people that own the land themselves that are destroying those things, so that when they want to start the intended secession, it can be successful. I don't want to buy that.
Okay.
Well, some people are saying that because all over, some people are believing that the present government is going to monopolize the coming 2023 elections to its favor. They want to make sure that every possibility that 2023 does not exist is what happens. Nobody can substantiate that yet. But definitely it's about sabotage. Why concern? And it's that it's happening in the southeast predominantly now. It shows there's a problem. Police stations being razed, officers being killed, now INEC offices being attacked. So once it is like that now, once they are facing INEC offices now, it must be a group of people who don't want who are targeting failure of 2023 elections. It's likely. I'm not going to be very specific.
Okay.
It could be. Then it could be that some other forces from outside the east are coming in to destroy the place so that they can make sure that security in the east is totally broken down. Law and order and security, so that they can step on the whole system there. So there are different reasons, ways of looking at it. But one cannot be very, very sure now. What I expect the security agencies to have been able to do now is to ascertain the root cause of all this mayhem. But unfortunately, we have very brilliant force people here, the military, the police. But unfortunately, it seems that there are certain things that make them become cowards when it comes to their jobs. Maybe some hands of influentials are there to make sure that they don't do real justice. If they do real justice, they do their work well. All over the world, our security forces are known to perform when they go outside. Why are they here and they cannot do anything? It's appalling. It's disgraceful. It's a shame.
Don't you think the cabal don't you think the issue of the cabals and the problems of those security officers, that they could not perform perfectly well? Well,
there's no doubt that there could be situations where certain people want security agencies to do their bidding. Okay, they are destroying something here, because those people where they are destroying something, they are not your people. You say security agencies should close their eyes and don't go there. A lot of things have been happening, right from the north to the south. Quite unfortunately, this herdsmen crisis, we don't even know which one is which now. The herdsmen, the Boko Haram, the ISIS, the ISWAP, all of them together. And they are all now emanating from the bush. They are not emanating from the air.
No.
So that means there's an association between all these evil bodies in the bushes. What does it cost for a federal government to deploy NAF? Look at what is happening to the NAF planes now. That's even another kettle of fish altogether.
I think we'll come back to that one. Let's go to the next story. 58 killed in Niger, Benue, Plateau. Now the story, anti-kidnapping protester block Abuja Kaduna Road. Blood flow in North Central following attack by bandits and headmen on innocent Nigeria. No fewer than 58 persons were killed in Benue, Plateau and Niger State. I mean, what do you take from this? Nigerians are dying every day. People are being kidnapped, and ransom being paid. And recently you heard about some law that the executive are trying to, the legislature are trying to bring out for anyone that paid ransom 15 years. What can you take? Why are they killing innocent souls? Why are they kidnapping innocent souls?
Before we even go to asking the reason they are kidnapping and killing innocent souls, what you just mentioned now, that the legislators coming out with an intention,
yes,
to secure, I'll use the word secure, to secure punitive measures for anybody who pays
ransom.
That step is a very stupid step. I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
That is a total digression from where the problem is. You can imagine those people that are promulgating that particular law now. If any of them is a victim, they will go and pay ransom. You can imagine when your person, your family, a member of your family is kidnapped, being tortured. You see, they show you a video where they are cutting the person and asking you to pay, and they say you should not pay. So if you now pay again, you go to jail. The senators, the members of the assembly and all that are talking about that, it's a disgrace on them. It's a shame on them, and it shows that they are gross failures. What you should do first is to nip. Why don't you come out with a law that anybody that is caught, that has kidnapped, should be killed instantly? You couldn't do that. You want to now bring a law to make sure that somebody who pays ransom goes to prison. It's madness of the highest order.
Don't you think because of the failure of the legislature, the security forces, don't you think that was why people are beginning to defend it? Because they have to block the Abuja Kaduna Road, so that no vehicle will come, no vehicle will go, so that Nigerians will be able to hear them and hear their cry. Don't you think that's the reason why
it has actually come even late? One would have expected that this should have happened long ago. If this had happened, maybe the government at the center, the federal government under the President Buhari, would have been more alive to its responsibilities. If this had happened. And you recall that very recently, Governor Otom of Benue got tired. He got fed up that he had to tell his people that they should stand in arms and defend themselves. What do you expect people to do? Overnight, people they are sleeping in their houses, in their villages. You come overnight, you kill all of them. You kill so many people. You drive the rest away. They run away from their villages. You take their crops. You enter their farms with cattle. You ravage their crops. What do you expect them to do? They should keep looking. They should not defend themselves, and they have tried. These people must be hailed. The people of the Middle Belt, they've tried so much that they've stayed up till now without reaction. That they are reacting now.
Lack of autonomy for legislature, judiciary, this dangerous to democracy. What do you see from this? Why is it becoming too hard for the governors to give autonomy to both the legislature and the judiciary? Why do you think it's difficult for them.
It's not even supposed to be the duty of any president or any governor to give autonomy to the legislature and the judiciary. There are three arms of government: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. The three of them, under democratic terms, should have individual autonomy. But over here in Nigeria, I'm going to set some blame on especially on the legislature and the judiciary. The executive arm of government has cowed down on the legislature and the judiciary because of the fact that the legislative and the judiciary, because of money and under enticements, have lost the real powers vested in them. Of course, when they give you some envelope to pass a bill, well, what is left? You work against your conscience. That of the legislature apart. The judiciary, this is most disgraceful. The judiciary is even supposed to be the one to handle to put the legislature and especially executive in check. Now tell me, when you are a judicial officer and you are subservient to the president or to anybody in the executive, how do you carry out your responsibilities of checking that person? You won't be able to do it. So this is a long-standing problem that has been there. There is a need for a total overhaul of Nigeria's democratic system. Take note of what I said. A need for a total overhaul of Nigeria's democratic system, so that we can practice it the exact way that it was imported to us. Our democracy is totally polluted. It's stinking. This is not how to practice democracy.
And these guys are now demanding, like as if they are begging for their right.
That is how it is, because right from the beginning, they failed to hold themselves together, to stand strong in their responsibilities.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Let me go to the second paper, the Guardians.
All right.
The one something that touches my mind there from me. It's about more worries over borrowing, foreign reserve depletion. Stakeholders are unsettled over federal government plan to borrow a fresh $6.18 billion. Borrowing money again in this situation where we found ourselves. But what can you say about this, sir?
Borrowing money is not a bad idea.
Okay.
If such monies are channeled towards productive enterprise.
Okay.
Well, I can actually say that without being sectional. The present government has borrowed money to a level to fix certain decayed infrastructure, especially roads.
Okay.
If you go now from Lagos towards Shagamu, you see that work has been done. Just like in the northern parts too, and the parts, that's some other places where initial neglect was in terms of infrastructure. But at the same time, we should not lose sight of the fact that there could be some other monies that are channeled, that are borrowed and channeled into unproductive measures. We are all aware of the huge amounts of money that were voted for security, arms purchase and all that.
Yeah.
Some of those, the president came out himself to confess that some people stole monies for arms purchase. You see, right now, we know that a lot is happening. There are some miscreants that need to be fed. Okay, look at the amount of money they are using to settle bandits. Where is that money coming from? Oil price has gone down. Is it not possible that part of the monies that are now used to settle bandits and all that are coming from some of these monies that are borrowed? So that means some of those monies are going also into unproductive measures. There's no point, there's no possibility that it can't be possible that all these huge amounts of money we are talking about that they have been borrowing are commensurate with the development that we are seeing.
Sorry, let me cut you short there. You've just make mention of the harm that the military was supposed to be. No.
Yes.
But up to now, before this administration, the previous one also has this issue, giving out money for ammunition, and at the end of it, nothing, and no question is being asked. And up to date, we only had the beginning. We didn't, even the middle, we didn't even hear anything about it. And even the ending of the story, nobody understand what is going to come out at the end. What do you think is wrong? Is it not, what do you think is wrong with Nigeria?
It's a stock and trading continuity. It's as simple as that. The people that started the fraud started it with the idea at the back of their minds that they were collecting monies to buy arms, to do all that. It turned out to be that they turned it into a business of siphoning the country. And that is why up till now the battle against insurgency is yet to be won. Mm-hmm. Nigeria has all this, so even without external powers, in fact, especially in the beginning, what stopped Nigeria from nipping this whole thing in the bud before it grew up to this stage? But because of the greed and selfishness of certain people at positions of power, that is why this battle of against insurgency is not yet won. Nothing. These are miscreants. What kind of training were these people given that compares with what Nigerian army were given right in here and in other places? What kind of monies do they have to buy equipment to war that the country does not have? But because of the fact that it is the intention, it is a desperate intention of certain greedy people to make sure that battle against insurgency continues, so that they use it as an opportunity to siphon money. That is just the problem.
But I think the current administration, we believe when they are coming into power is for them they promised they are going to fight corruption. But is it not that corruption is fighting back at them now? Don't you think that is what is happening now? Because we've not been able to see. None of the current, it's just like someone from one party. After you've stole so much money, you now jump to the ruling party and they will be accepted. And that's the end of the story. No questioning.
In any place where corruption is entrenched, it takes the whole society to fight that corruption. There's nowhere in the world that corruption has been totally eliminated. It has only been alleviated.
Okay.
But our own situation here is so bad that corruption here is growing more than the rate at which the national economy is growing. The rate of development of corruption in Nigeria is unequaled with any other thing. So that is a serious problem. Corruption continues to thrive here, and we continue to bask in it, because people who are supposed to fight the corruption, it's a lip service thing. Yes, fine. The President Buhari came in with the intention, I believe, a genuine intention to fight corruption.
Okay.
But when the society is so perforated, when all the arms of government are so polluted, where all the minds of individual Nigerians are so decayed, it becomes very difficult to fight corruption. Corruption has embedded itself in Nigeria and in Nigerians. Corruption is multifaceted.
Now, Rep. Kakos accuses AFCC of harassing PDP members. The minority caucus in the House of Representatives has accused the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for witch-hunting People Democratic Party, PDP member. Did you think it's witch-hunting for EFCC start going after the PDP members? Do you think they are really working against the PDP members?
It's very simple. If it is sectional, if the goings after by EFCC is only to PDP legislators, leaving APC legislators, then there's a bias in it. But if it is a general clamp down on legislators to know where they are doing wrong, or to know those ones that are corrupt and fish them out, it is allowed. But this has been happening right from the beginning of democracy in Nigeria. It is no longer a new thing that an opposing government, an opposition of an incumbent government will always claim that they are being witch hunted. It happened the other way initially
when PDP was there.
But we cannot rule it out that what the PDP legislators are claiming could be right, and we cannot totally say that what they are claiming could be wrong. But it has been happening over time, and if it is happening and it is true that it is a sectional drive against the PDP legislators, then it is unfair. It has to be a level playing ground.
Lagos Ogun formed joint development commission. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and his Lagos State counterpart Babajide Sanwo-Olu yesterday signed a memorandum of understanding (MOU) on the Lagos Ogun Joint Development Commission. Joining both Lagos and of course they are close by.
Yeah.
For both of them coming together to join development, to form a joint development commission. What do you think they are driving towards?
The intention for a joint development commission between Lagos and Ogun should have been long-standing.
Okay.
It is no longer supposed to even be news at this time. It's not supposed to be a new thing. And as a matter of fact, without coming on paper, without forming a board initially, Lagos and Ogun, being adjoining states, have had interesting interrelationships.
Is it because they are from the same party?
No.
Okay.
That's not the reason. Well, that could be an enhancer.
Oh, okay.
But normally, right from the beginning, Lagos and Ogun, in fact, you can hardly demarcate Lagos and Ogun now.
Oh, of course.
Most of the people that work in Lagos now live in Ogun. And a lot of people, a lot of places, initially parts of Ogun have become Lagos. In fact, Lagos has claimed some parts of Ogun that people have come to accept that this is Lagos. Even when you live on the fringes of Lagos State, living in Ogun State on the fringes, when people ask you, where are you living? You still say Lagos. So it is now that they are formalizing it. It makes a lot of sense. But it should have been done long ago. But it's a beautiful concept, and it's a nice one.
And
it will enhance, it will foster development between the two states. And when it comes to bordering in Nigeria, Lagos and Ogun are very important.
Very, very
Ogun is a border.
Yeah.
Lagos is a border.
Yeah.
So things come in from those two places. Things go out from those two places. But what they will need to do now, as they are doing their development commission now, let them also foster security.
Very important.
So that when all these interrelationships are going on, other people don't come in to use the opportunity to perpetrate falsehood and all forms of crime and all that. But it's a welcome development that is being signed.
My question, I still want to go back to that, them being, because they are in the same party. Now, if eventually in the years to come, they have different party in those states, do you think this issue will still stand?
That is the unfortunate thing about Nigeria and about our democracy. It's beautifully done now because the two states belong to the same party.
Same party, yeah.
Ruling, and these two states are being ruled by the same party.
Same party, yeah.
And normally, even if tomorrow the two states are being ruled by different parties, it should still continue. Okay. But unfortunately, and quite unfortunately, the way we have fashioned our democracy, we don't know that democracy itself should go along with development. Practicing good democracy is about development, and an ongoing development is not something that should be thwarted because of the fact that this party now is now controlling this state, that party now is now controlling this state. You just see that the whole thing starts breaking down, the relationship starts breaking down, and everything they have started crashes. It's unfortunate it happens like that in Nigeria, but in this case I expect that there should be a very good foundation laid down so that any government that is changed must fit into that situation. That's how it can work.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate your presence, and thank you for doing justice to the news on Just TV Plus. And I hope that next time when we call on to you, you're going to come around and do more justice to it, sir.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you for having me too. God bless you.
My viewer at home, thank you. This is a wonderful episode. I want to believe that. Till we meet next time, I am BC Arebusi. Thank you.